Hold on to your helmets, because the world of college football is buzzing with a nomination that's turning heads and sparking conversations. Auburn's interim head coach, DJ Durkin, has been nominated for the prestigious Broyles Award, an honor bestowed annually upon the nation's top assistant coach. But here's where it gets intriguing. Durkin, who started the season as the Tigers' defensive coordinator and linebackers coach, stepped into the interim head coach role after Auburn parted ways with Hugh Freeze on November 2nd. Now, he's one of 63 nominees vying for this coveted title, with the winner set to be announced in mid-February. And this is the part most people miss. Fans now have a direct say in the outcome through the first-ever Broyles Award fan vote, a move that's both exciting and controversial. Could this shift the balance of power in how awards are decided? Let's dive in. The fan voting process is structured into 3 rounds, each designed to amplify the voice of college football enthusiasts. In every round, the assistant coach with the most fan votes earns a collective vote, which carries the same weight as a vote from a Broyles Award committee member. Fans can cast 1 vote every 24 hours, and each vote doubles as an entry to win 2 VIP passes to the Broyles Award Ceremony. The semi-finalists voting closes on November 30th, followed by the finalists vote from December 2nd to December 7th, and the final vote from January 20th to January 26th. Ready to make your voice heard? Vote here, Broyles Award Fan Vote, https://www.opinionstaggy.com/page/bfe382eda9ddfdutm_source equals the plus Broyles plus foundation and UTM_campaign equals FFEMAIL_CMPIGN_. Now, let's talk about the bigger picture. The Broyles Award isn't just about recognizing talent, it's about celebrating the unsung heroes who shaped the game behind the scenes. From defensive coordinators to special teams gurus, these coaches are the architects of college football's most thrilling moments. But with fan voting in the mix, is this a step toward democratizing awards, or does it risk turning a professional honor into a popularity contest? Weigh in below. Do you think fan votes should hold this much power? Here's the full list of nominees for the 2025-26 Broyles Award, each bringing their unique expertise to the field. Alabama, Kane Womack, Defensive Coordinator. Arizona, Danny Gonzalez, Defensive Coordinator. Arizona State, Brian Ward, Defensive Coordinator. Auburn, DJ Durkin, Defensive Coordinator, LB's, Interim Head Coach. Baylor, Jake Spavital, Offensive Coordinator, QBs. Boise State, Eric Chinnander, Defensive Coordinator, DL. Boston College, Matt Thurin, Special Teams, Safeties. BYU, Aaron Roderick, Offensive Coordinator, QBs. California, Brian Harsin, Offensive Coordinator, QBs. Cincinnati, Nick Cardwell, Offensive Line. Clemson, Matt Luke, Assistant Head Coach, Offensive Line. Duke, Jonathan Brewer, Offensive Coordinator, QBs. East Carolina, Roy Tesh, Defensive Run Game Coordinator. Florida State, Gus Malzahn, Offensive Coordinator. Georgia, Mike Bobo, Offensive Coordinator, QBs. Georgia Southern, Blake Wilson, Special Teams Coordinator. Georgia Tech, Buster Faulkner, Offensive Coordinator. Houston, Austin Armstrong, Defensive Coordinator. Indiana, Brian Haynes, Defensive Coordinator. Iowa, LeVar Woods, Special Teams Coordinator. Iowa State, John Heacock, Defensive Coordinator. Jacksonville State, Rick Trickett, Offensive Coordinator. James Madison, Colin Hitchler, Defensive Coordinator. Kansas, Matt Lubick, Co-Offensive Coordinator, TEAS. Kennesaw State, Mark Mattioli, Defensive Coordinator, Safeties. Kent State, C.J. Conrad, Special Teams Coordinator. LSU, Blake Baker, Defensive Coordinator. Miami, F.L. Corey Hetherman, Defensive Coordinator, LB's. Michigan, Wink Martindale, Defensive Coordinator. Missouri, Curtis Looper, Running Backs. Navy, Drew Cronick, Offensive Coordinator. Nebraska, Mike Ekeler, Special Teams Coordinator. New Mexico, Spence Nowinski, Defensive Coordinator. NC State, Kurt Roper, Offensive Coordinator QBs. North Texas, Sean Brophy, Passing Game Coordinator QBs. Northwestern, Tim McGarrigle, Defensive Coordinator LBs. Notre Dame, Mike Denbrock, Offensive Coordinator TEAS. Ohio State, Matt Patricia, Defensive Coordinator. Oklahoma, Todd Bates, Associate Head Coach, Co-Defensive Coordinator, Run Defense DTs. Ole Miss, Charlie Weiss Jr., Offensive Coordinator. Oregon, Tosh Lupla, Defensive Coordinator. Penn State, Justin Lustig, Special Teams Coordinator. Rutgers, Kirk Ciarrocca, Offensive Coordinator QBs. San Diego State, Rob Orrick, Defensive Coordinator, LBs. San Jose State, Craig Stutzman, Offensive Coordinator QBs. SMU, Scott Simons, Defensive Coordinator. South Carolina, Joe DeCamillis, Associate Head Coach, Special Teams Coordinator. South Florida, Joe Gordon, Offensive Coordinator QBs. Tennessee, Joey Halsell, Offensive Coordinator QBs. Texas A&M, Colin Klein, Offensive Coordinator QBs. Texas State, Tanner Burns, Associate Head Coach, Special Teams Coordinator, Defensive Assistant. Texas Tech, Shea Wood, Defensive Coordinator, Inside LBs. Toledo, Vince Karras, Defensive Coordinator. Tulane, Jonathan Galanti, Special Teams Coordinator. UAB, Alex Mortensen, Offensive Coordinator, Interim Head Coach. UConn, Gordon Samus, Offensive Coordinator. USC, Luke Huard, Offensive Coordinator QBs. Utah, Jason Beck, Offensive Coordinator. Utah State, Kevin McGivern, Offensive Coordinator. Vanderbilt, Tim Beck, Offensive Coordinator. Virginia, John Radzinski, Defensive Coordinator. Wake Forest, Scotty Hazelton, Defensive Coordinator. Western Kentucky, Andy LaRussa, Assistant Head Coach, Special Teams. Western Michigan, Chris O'Leary, Defensive Coordinator, Safeties. So, who do you think deserves the title? And more importantly, should fans have this much influence in deciding professional awards? Let us know in the comments. This is one debate you won't want to miss.